exist in countries like Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. I believe that the next generation of ultra-rich billionaires in real estate are going to come from Western Africa. I had an opportunity to do consultation for a development company in Abidjan, and what I saw there was very surprising. The main business district, which is called Plateau, was so well developed that you would have mistaken it for a very wealthy Western city. And some of the areas that were less wealthy, like Cocody, had houses that would put any of our McMansions to shame. We need to have Western style finance, which is already coming out there, mainly through Deutsche Bank and some of the Swiss banks that are making a lot of inroads into West Africa. As more of us Western investors realize that we can make amazing returns in Africa, we're going to start putting money in there, and it's just going to fuel a big fire.
I genuinely want to know what is...
I'm sitting here watching this beautiful sunset. Then suddenly, this notification came up on my cell phone about this guy. I can't help but laughing about it, because it's amazing. Man, this guy is beautiful. So beautiful. Look at that. Sunset. Anyway, I'm looking at this, enjoying this. Then up pops this video that I put a clip on the front of this video. This Caucasian is making a video telling his people, hey, you're missing out on a fantastic opportunity in Africa. Come and become a billionaire. This is the place that's going to make billionaires in the future. Initially, when I saw the video, I started laughing. Then I started getting a little bit perturbed. Because, if I remember correctly, not 2 weeks ago, 54 of these African leaders got on their jets, whether it was rented, bought, leased, however they did it, filled it up with fuel and flew to America. They went to make the American leadership, who had called them, summoned them, not called, summoned them. They left out the ones that they didn't like, the ones who were following a program of self-help and doing good with it, like Ethiopia. They left out anyway, they left out countries that they didn't like what they were doing, because these people had now, some of them has overthrown the old leadership that was following, that was keeping their people down. Old Frenchmen, old black African Frenchmen, who were allowing France to create havoc in their country. They didn't invite the people who were making sense. Zimbabwe kicked out all its the old Caucasian farmers and They are now growing their economy into self-sufficiency. Even though they have these massive sanctions against them. No invitation for them. But all the other leaders went there and got what is called a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. This Memorandum of Understanding didn't say, hey, here's $50 billion, go home and do something with it. Well, we are thinking about, this is what we are thinking about. We are going to try to help you over the next 3 years. We're going to try to give you this 58 billion. So far, same people have given $1.7 trillion to Ukraine. 1.7 now. Almost 4 times the 58 billion that they give into 50 African countries, 54 African countries over a 3-year period. They've given Ukraine this in less than 1 year. Here is this Caucasian telling his brothers, come to Africa and become billionaires off the African. Off the back of Africans, come take their profits. Come take their money. Come take their land. And you will become a billionaire. Now, when I started, like I said, I would become perturbed. But then I remember that for years, for at least 20 years, let's just go back 20 years, every African leader that I've seen come to power been asking these people to come and invest in their land. Oh yes. For a couple of decades, I heard African leaders begging. The last one I made a video of was Nana Akufo of Ghana. Begging Europeans, please come invest in Ghana. Please come invest in Ghana. I said, why is it that there's so many wealthy Ghanaians, wealthy people from African Americans to Caribbeans, black Brazilians, black Africans in Europe, they have plenty of money to invest in Ghana. Why don't you make the climate in Ghana acceptable for them to come back home and invest? Get rid of the people in the ports who, when these people bring goods in, either wants to steal it or to block it until the people pay to have it cleared. Pay the customs agent. Not the import fee. That's normal. Taxes and imports is normal. Every country. But the bribery, after you beg these people to come, they come and they get treated so bad they don't come back. And they tell people not to come. Then you have to beg the Europeans. And when they come with all kinds of strings attached. And here's this one Caucasian man telling his people, hey, when you come to Africa, you'll think that you're in some part of Europe. And I can see for myself now. I'm consulting with this, and how to do this. And he's telling them what the banks that will give them money to do it. And one of the banks that will give them money to do it is Deutsche Bank. The most corrupt, wicked organization on the planet. Well, I can't say the most, because they work hand in hand with all of the others. So they all are the same. Deutsche Bank, the Bank of England. You got IMF. They all work hand in hand. On one side, the IMF is suppressing the growth of Africa. And on the other hand, you got this other Caucasian that says, hey, we got financing from Deutsche Bank because it's something that's going to create billionaires out of us. Not out of the Africans, out of us. It's going to make us billionaires. And suddenly I'm looking at the video and you got these Africans that get all upset. You got African people just going off on this video. And I agree with them. But I'm a man of history, see? And I can tell you, the same problem you have today with the leaders of Africa inviting people to come and invest, destroying his country and his people. 500, 600 years ago, they joined the Arabs fighting the wars of expansion that the Arabs were fighting. They joined the Arabs to conquer kingdoms all over Africa. These same African leaders. And then after the Arabs, they joined the British, selling their own people into slavery. Now, they're selling their own people into slavery by inviting the British to come back after they said they got independence. They invited the Caucasian to come back. Come invest in Africa. So now, instead of taking you to America and the Caribbean and Brazil, Central America, Mexico, they're going to enslave you in your own land. They're going to enslave Africans in Africa. I keep telling you that. You know, I told you, you got 3 years now. And people won't believe me. People will say, that's funny. It's not possible. Somebody came across this video of this white man telling people, come to Africa and become billionaires. The other day I saw a video of this man from the EU called Joseph Borrell saying he coming to Africa to turn Africa into a garden. He's going to turn the jungle into a garden. Two days ago I saw another video with all these Europeans, these Caucasians in Germany and Switzerland, France, in Ethiopia, said how they come to see how the peace deal is working out for the Tigrays. Are you kidding me? Did Ethiopia allow them to land in Ethiopia? When Ethiopia was fighting against these Tigray people who were supported by these people who now commented saying they were coming to see how the peace deal is working out. They were the ones who were giving them the guns to fight to overthrow the legally represented government of Ethiopia. My brothers, you can go ahead and laugh. You can go upset with me. Go right ahead. I won't be the first one for you to try to destroy when I bring you facts. Malcolm X. You know, every one of the men who tried to lead the Black Panther Party. We can go all the way back to the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and even before him. Black men who try to do something, speak facts and truth, attacked by their own. Here in Africa, you had Patrice Lumumba killed by his own. It's the same thing, Africa. Killed by their own people. The leaders that we have today doing the same thing as the leaders that we had. My great-great-great-grandfather, who was brought into slavery, a fuller man, fighting for his freedom in Benin. The Muslims captured him and sold him to the British. The Arabs captured him and sold him to the British. Same type of leadership. Same people fighting for somebody else to come into Africa and enslave the people. It's funny how I heard where Indians were coming to Uganda and buying children, taking to the India and take out kidney, part of the liver, organs out of the body, send them back to Uganda. Some died in India. Whole body disappeared. Mothers and fathers said, my son went to India, they told him he's gonna get a scholarship in school. Guess what happened to the poor kid? Africa 2063. Guess why they made it 2063? That was not that decision wasn't made by African leaders. It was given to them. They made it 2063 because they thought, hey, we're going to get rid of this one enemy in Russia. We're going to get rid of this one enemy in China. And the rest of the world is going to be easy for, we're going to just mop everything up by then. Africa don't have a chance. And with the leadership that you have, even 2030 is looking seriously bad for you. Not for you, but all of us, actually, because I'm in it. They don't look at you. Nobody looks at you and say, yeah, you know, you from the Caribbean. Nah, you from North Africa. The one drop principle in America. If you got one drop of blood, black blood in you, you're black. But anyway, I just want to hopefully somebody somewhere will listen to this video or one of the other videos that I know people are going to make, and start telling your leaders now, hey, this is serious. You putting our people in jeopardy. You putting Africa in jeopardy again. It started with the Portuguese before, well, it started with the Muslims actually. Started with the Arabs. And now they have the whole of North Africa. You don't hear anybody talking about North Africa anymore. You hear talking about sub-Saharan Africa. It means that Africa, part of Africa is no longer Africa. You guys don't listen. You guys just, you want to dance and sing, and you don't listen to what these people are saying. They always, the things that they're on their mind is sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Sahara means that anything above the Sahara is not African. Does not belong to black people. Better wake up. See this sunset? It's supposed to be the sun setting on the Caucasian, but it can set on you. It can set on Africa even faster because they control the money supply. The dollar is the trading. You already, I mean, if you don't know that by now, it doesn't make sense to be giving you a lesson in that anyway. Because if you can't see what's happening, you won't understand the economics. Just like the former leaders didn't understand the economics of slavery when they were selling other Africans to the European and to the Muslim. Even today, they're selling Africans to the Muslims. Don't understand the economics. All right. Please don't let the sun set on us. If you can talk to your leaders, if you can talk to the leaders of Africa, please just make one. Watch this video. Show them this video and tell them, please don't let the sun set on us. That MOU that you brought back with you when you came back from Washington is useless. Next year is food. The year after that is, well, I should say next year is education and food. The year after that is energy. And the year after that is healthcare. You got 3 years. We got 3 years. I gave you the plan. Don't let Caucasians come to Africa and become billionaires again by enslaving your own people. Peace.